Okay, here we are. We've actually done the IndoctriNation tour. I want to thank everyone that so generously donated to allow us to travel around America in a big yellow school bus, which only broke down 3 or 4 times. We went to some of the landmarks of American education. So we were in Dayton, Tennessee. We were in DC, Boston, New York. We interviewed some of the most incredible people. Absolutely, I learned so much just talking. That's part of the privilege of being a film producer, is that you don't know everything, but you get to go and talk to the people who almost do. And so we have some of the best interviews. I'm going to let Joaquin tell you a little bit about his perspective on the tour and some of the interviews that we have shot.
One of the most fascinating things to me was, other than traveling in places that I hadn't been to before, was traveling with my family, with your family, Colin, and with our interns, young men, really, most of them in their teens, who came alongside of us and helped with the production. And also meeting these really interesting people, Tom Davies at the Scopes Trial Museum, and Ken Ham at the Creation Museum, and Howard Phillips outside of D.C., and John Taylor Gatto in New York City, Sam Blumenfeld in Boston. Just a lot of interesting people. We also were able to go to these places. One of my fondest memories, I guess, was videotaping. If you remember, videotaping in Times Square, being pulled, and a guy
Yeah.
with a bicycle with one of those. What do you call those things?
A rickshaw. It was like a rickshaw
yeah.
that you were sitting in, and you're facing backwards. And I'm driving this bus, of course, a challenge for both of us. I'm trying to drive a bus through Times Square where there's, 10,000 people walking around and there's cabs going everywhere. And we're driving around the block again and again to get a good shot. And we did. Amazing footage. The yellow bus thing is just incredible. Visually it works so well. The context of it, just the seeing this yellow bus drive through beautiful scenery and then through cities, it has worked really well. So we're heading towards the post-production stage now, so that we have pickups to do and a few interviews here that we will try and squeeze in, but really we're in post. And Joaquin Fernandez is going to be in charge of the edit, but he's going to tell you a little bit about what post is.
Right, a film has 3 stages: pre-production, production, post-production. The pre-production is the planning, and the production is the shooting, which we're pretty much wrapping up. We have a few pickup interviews to do with some whistleblowers that the Lord has brought to our attention, public school principals, a couple public school teachers, and the like. And but then we started today. Actually, is our first day of post-production, and that means that we need to edit the film and put music and do the animations, which Colin will be in charge of, and color correct and all sorts of things, and gather more statistical information to make our case, to back up what we found. And it's a fascinating process. It's a hard process. It's a good 3 months of steady, straight work. And by the way, we have not been able to do any of this. We would not have been able to do any of this without the support of people who just believe in the project. Really, that's really the bottom line. And people have helped in the pre-production. They helped in the production with donations. That we had the matching funds that some of you know about. People who bought a mile or several miles with that program, and backstage passes. So we were able to do what we have been able to do because of the generosity of people like you. And that's going to be the same for the post-production, really. We don't have the funds, so we're just doing this following God's lead, and we're hoping that our friends on Facebook and those who follow our blog and whatnot will buy the backstage pass, which will enable us to get the funds that we need to continue doing this work without having to do our day jobs too much. But it's a fascinating process, and I am very encouraged just sharing the interviews that we have and the content that we have with friends that are in the know. They just give me feedback and they say, wow, this is really exciting. This is going to be an important film. And I'm actually humbled just seeing what the Lord is doing.
Well, yeah, I want to thank everyone that donated. We couldn't have done this without you, and we really believe that this was a good investment of your money, your hard-earned money. If you believe the public schools need to be abolished, or at the very least, we need to warn those that are using them about the dangers in public schools, then we really are going to be able to do this. Judging just by the footage that we've shot and the people we've interviewed. We actually just recently went to Colorado where we interviewed Brian Rohrbaugh, who lost his son in the Columbine tragedy. So we have just stories that really are going to tell the story. They're really the crucial story. So thank you so much. Those that have bought backstage passes. You'll be happy to know, we'll encourage you to revisit the website, but you'll be happy to know we're going to be adding more footage now that we're in post-production, and most of our efforts now are sitting at our desks, just going through the data, going through the footage. We're going to be loading up interviews that we shot on the tour, and you're going to be very pleased with some of the unique interviews we have. I think there's probably no one else that has this access to this information, these unique footage with people that don't really do interviews a whole lot. We're going to be putting all that footage up there in the backstage pass, and we encourage anyone, if you want to help us, that is a good way to help us. You actually get the DVD as well as all the backstage footage. So I just want to say again, thank you to everyone at the San Antonio Independent Christian Film Festival and Academy for coming up and saying hello and supporting us. Thankfully, the Lord really blessed us down there. It was the first time Scottish, Joaquin, Fernandez, and Colin Gunn were in the same room together. So very unusual time. Up until now, it's just been emails and Skype calls. Thank you to Doug Phillips as well for supporting our movie and showing our trailer. So it's very exciting. We have 3 months or so to get this movie wrapped up. Post-production is very time intensive. We'll be sitting at our desks pretty much constantly working really hard to make this into a movie. This is the most crucial stage, and this will make the movie into what people see on the screen. So how we tell the story is very much the success of the movie is going to be dependent upon how we handle this over the next few months. So please consider buying a backstage pass and helping us out, Joaquin.
No, I agree, and I just want to say thank you to all of our friends, and keep watching us post things on Facebook and our blog. And we have, like you said, Colin, we have about, I think, over 30 interviews actually, and the shortest are 30 minutes. So this is a lot of information. It's a tremendous education for any homeschooler or anybody who's really interested in this topic. And it's most of it or all of it is going to be going up on the backstage pass, on the website. So thanks again, and we look forward to hearing from you as well.
Okay, thanks everyone. Bye-bye.